the ball we're gonna use, and we're just letting the air out of it so we can get it down to 0 PSI.
You gotta really push it in there.
Whoa. Really coming out. You can hear a lot of the air coming out. It's coming out pretty quick too.
Okay, go ahead and pull the, let's check the air pressure on it.
Okay. So now we're going to get air pressure gauge out. Put that in there. And stick this in. See what it's at.
It's like under 1, but it's not completely at 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so let a little bit more air out.
Okay.
I have to push in on the side of the ball. Okay, now let's try it.
This is a very
so
flat ball.
We can let a little bit more out and then try it one more time.
Okay. I think I'm gonna poke a hole in the ball.
Yeah, there's definitely air coming out.
It's gonna be hard to kick.
Satisfying.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to kick. All right, let's try that.
Oh my
Very deformed ball now.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
the same.
Let's see. About as flat as we're gonna get the air out.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll take that out and then we'll go kick it. It is very
It's like crazy flat.
flat. Don't even know how we're gonna kick it. So let's go kick it. Okay, so we have this soccer ball that we lowered it to 0 PSI, and I'm gonna kick this ball from the corner. She's gonna mark the first bounce that it hits, and then I'm going to measure it with the measuring wheel and see how many feet that it travels, and then we will convert it into yards. And we're going to do a couple different PSI levels, and we're gonna kick each ball 5 times, and we're sticking with the same ball. We're just going to be raising the amount of PSI in the soccer ball, and I personally think that the highest air pressure will go the farthest.
So how many feet do you think the ball will travel?
I think the ball will travel at 0 PSI about 60 to 65 feet, and then at the highest level, 12 PSI, I think it will travel about 100 to 100 feet because a harder ball makes it travel farther, but when it is like really smushed down, I don't think it will go as far. Okay, so we're at the corner, and I'm going to put the ball like right where the yellow hit, or the white hits the yellow, and right in this corner. So I'm going to try and place it there. I'm going to place it there every single time, and then I'm going to take 4 steps back and then 1 step to like the left over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to take 1 like that this way. And okay. Okay, and so now I'm going to reset this. So I'm going to click this up so it's at 0. And then I'm going to walk straight to the cone right from where the ball hit. I'm going to walk towards the cone. Okay, so for the first one, it was 68.8 feet. The second ball was 68.0 feet. The third ball was 71.5 feet. The fourth ball was 68.4 feet, and the fifth ball was 77.8 feet. Okay, so now we're going to air up the ball to 5 psi. Okay, so I'm putting it in the ball. There we go. Now we're gonna pump. Probably gonna take a little bit. Going up pretty good. It's like an arm workout. I think that's pretty good. That, okay, so then we're gonna get the pressure gauge and see what it's at. Oh, it's just at 1.
Oh.
Sorry, put this back in and we're gonna pump for quite some time.
I feel like this is a lot of air. It's really hard.
I can't wait to see you guys pump it up to 12.
It's gonna pop.
That'd be really funny.
Okay, let's see what it's at now. I doubt it's at 5, but. Oh. We need to take a little out. I guess last time
We
I
got
drank,
to like
it's like
5.5.
Okay, so now we're gonna take.
Just do like just a little bit.
That's a lot. What was it at?
like
Like
3.
3.
That's all right, you don't. Comes out pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Harder going in.
That probably good.
Yeah, try that.
And yep, it is at 5. So now we are going to go kick the 5 psi 5 times and see how far it travels.
How hard is that ball?
It's a lot harder than I thought 5
Yeah.
psi would be.
It could probably use a little more air, but 12 is going to be very hard. Okay, so this ball is at 5 psi, and I think that this one's going to go between 80 and 85 because it is a little harder than I thought a 5 psi ball would be. So my guess is that it would be from 80 to 85 feet. Okay, so this is the 5 psi ball. I'm going to put it in the same spot, and we are going to kick this one 5 times as well. Then I'm going to step back 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the diagonal one. Wow!
That's some good grouping again.
First one was 93.7. Okay. For the 5 psi, we had a 93.7 feet, 94.6 feet, 103.2 feet, 99.3 feet, 101.8 feet. Okay, next we are going to fill this ball to 8.5 psi, which is about a range of a regulation ball. I think the 12 won't probably go as far because it's going to be like really hard, like knowing now what a 5 is. So I think a 12 will probably be around where like the 5s are, and I think 8.5 will now be the farthest, which will be at like a 105.
So you think the regulation ball will go the furthest?
Yes.
How easy was the 5 to kick?
That one was pretty easy because it wasn't like smushed, so you could like get under it and stuff because it wasn't as aired up, and it's still like a little flat, and so I thought it was pretty easy to kick. This one we are going to inflate to 8.5 psi.
Probably pretty close.
It's like 6.
Oh, no, that's not close.
Okay, so keep burying it up. I feel like I hear it coming out. Okay, should we try that?
Yeah, try that. That's definitely like properly inflated.
That's 8, 1.
I feel like that's actually really close.
I think it needs like 2 or 3 more pumps. 1. There. Just test this now. That looks like perfect. Okay. So that is our 8.5 psi ball. Okay, so now I am going to kick my properly inflated ball. So put it down at the same spot, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Okay, hold on. Before you kick that one, is this ball harder to kick than?
Yes, it's way harder.
So this is the ball that you normally kick with 8.5, right?
Right.
But you've gotten kind of used to the flat one, and then the.
Right.
So this one definitely
this
is.
one is a little harder to kick. Curveball. 3, 4. That was a pretty good one. Okay, so for the 8.5 psi, we had 102.1 feet, 83 feet, 90.2 feet, 94.4 feet, 104.1 feet. On the 8.5 ball, it's a little less forgiving when you kick the ball. If you kick the ball on the wrong spot on your foot, your grouping will be different. And then, but on the 5, if you kick the ball a little wrong, it's already a little less inflated, and so my grouping on the 0 and 5 were a little closer together, but on the 8.5 my grouping was more widespread throughout the field.
So while it's not scientific, as a soccer player, kicking a 5 is easier, right? Because it's a little bit less forgiving, and kicking an 8.5, you really got to hit that ball perfect.
Yes, you do. We are going to inflate this now to a 12 psi. This ball's gonna be really hard.
So you're overinflating this ball.
Correct. only at 10.
Does it get harder to pump the air into it?
Kind of.
Looks harder.
I know.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot harder pumping this up to 12.
Would you like some help?
Yeah. Oh,
We passed 12. So.
oh, that's
like
perfect. This ball is really hard. So now we're going to go kick this ball 5 times. Okay, so kicking the 12 psi, I think it'll be really hard because like this ball is really hard. Even if this ball like hits you, it's like very hard. See?
Ow.
Okay, and then so I think this ball will only go like 90, maybe even 85 to 90 feet because it is super hard, and the 8.5 is already harder to kick. The 8.5 psi. So I think the 12 psi is gonna be super hard. Pretty far. I felt like it hit weird off my foot too, and it didn't go that high either.
That ball hurts if it hits you.
Pretty good. Kicking the 12, it felt about the same, but it was a tiny bit harder when it hit your foot. It was, you could feel that it was air up a little more than the 8.5 psi ball. For the 12 psi, we had a 82.4 feet, 92.1 feet, 100.6 feet, 101.9 feet, 103.8 feet. My favorite ball was the 5 psi because it was pretty easy to hit. The gripping was really good on the 5 as well, and I just felt like hitting a 5 ball, it was like kind of full still, but it wasn't as full as a regulation ball, and so you could get under it really easily and kick it, and they still went pretty far with the 5 psi. When we did the experiment, there was like no wind at all. It was pretty non-existent, but the wind has started to pick up, and so we got really lucky that there's no wind when we were doing the experiment. So this is the ball that we used to test our experiment, and this is my sister's ball, and so we're curious to see what the PSI level is in this ball.
It might be a little under 8.
I think it's under 8.
I think it's like 7.5.
Yeah.
It's a little less than 7.
Yeah. It's like
Wow.
just under 7.
So we need to inflate that ball, huh?
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Yeah, there was. I actually saw it.
Yeah, it's
It's right there.
Is it on me?